It was a bitterly cold evening, the final night of the year. Snow was falling steadily, and darkness had already covered the streets. Through the gloom wandered a small girl, barefoot and bareheaded. She had once worn slippers, but they were too large for her mother's old ones, and she lost them while dodging a pair of fast-moving carriages. One slipper vanished completely. The other was snatched by a mischievous boy, who joked that it would make a good cradle one day. And so, the little girl continued on, her tiny feet red and blue from the cold. She carried a bundle of matches in her apron and held a few in her hand, hoping to sell them. But all day long, no one had bought a single one, not a coin had she earned. Shivering from hunger and cold, she moved slowly through the street. She was a heartbreaking sight, so small, so lonely. Snowflakes clung to her long, blonde curls, but she hardly noticed. Through glowing windows, she saw warm lights and caught the scent of roasted goose. It was New Year's Eve, after all. In a quiet corner between two buildings, she sat down and curled up tightly. She didn't dare go home. Her father would be angry she hadn't sold any matches, hadn't earned a penny. Besides, home was cold too. The roof above her let in the wind, even though they'd tried to plug the holes with rags and straw. Her hands were numb. Just one match, she thought, just to feel a little warmth. She struck it against the wall. A bright, warm flame appeared. It felt like sitting in front of a glowing iron stove. She stretched out her feet to warm them, but then the flame flickered out. The stove disappeared. All that remained was the burnt matchstick in her hand. She lit another match. This time, the wall in front of her seemed to turn into a window. Inside, she saw a cozy room with a table set for a feast. A roast goose, stuffed with apples and prunes, steamed in the center. Amazingly, the goose stepped down from the dish and waddled toward her. But the match went out, and the image vanished into darkness. She struck a third match. Now she was sitting under the biggest Christmas tree she had ever seen, brilliantly lit and decorated with shining ornaments and toys. She reached out for them, but again, the match went out. The lights rose, climbing higher and higher, turning into stars. One star fell, streaking across the sky. "Someone has died," the girl whispered. Her late grandmother had once told her that falling stars meant a soul was rising to heaven. She lit another match. In its glow, her grandmother appeared kind, radiant, and full of love. "Grandmother," the girl cried, "take me with you. Please don't disappear when the flame goes out." Desperate not to lose her, the girl struck all the matches at once. They blazed with blinding light, and her grandmother lifted her into her arms. Together, they soared high above the earth, where there was no more cold, no hunger, no sorrow, only peace and light. The next morning, in the early chill of New Year's Day, people found the little girl sitting in the corner. Her cheeks were rosy, and she smiled gently, but she was frozen to death. In her lap lay the spent matches, one bundle nearly burned away. She must have tried to warm herself, they said. But no one knew the wonder she had seen. No one imagined how, with joy and love, she had entered the new year in the arms of her beloved grandmother.